Amar Reish Lakish said to Rabbi Yochanan, Ilavdi kilsa gavra rabba. If a great man had not praised you, hava aminu matnisin mani, I would say differently. If not that the great man Rabbi Yochanan praised you, I would say differently. I would say that our mission is Rabbi Akiva, the Amar HaMikayim Kalayim Loika. Rabbi Akiva said that even one who just maintains Kalayim gets Malkot. Now, there is, and we're passing like Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Akiva holds like this, that if these two different types, let's say your wheat grew by itself in your vineyard, if you didn't uproot it early enough, you get malchut. How could that be? He didn't do anything. He holds that with not taking out kalayim is like an action. Because you constantly take care of your field, and you passing by, and you see, and you're taking out weed, you're taking out things that don't belong, because that's called maintaining your field, and you're seeing that weed grew in your vineyard, and you don't take it out. You took out all the weed. You took out all the stuff that you don't want because they're not benefiting you. They're hurting you. But wheat that is actually edible and is actually good, you didn't take out. What Torah says not to have, you didn't take out. You only took out the extraneous, the non-usable stuff. So you did a wrong action. You took out the wrong stuff. Maybe you should have left the weed. You should have left all the sarniki, all the stuff that are hurting your field. And they're just going to diminish the produce. But you should have taken out what Torah says not to have. You didn't do that. So it's like you did a Avera. My time with Rabbi Akiva, what's the reason of Rabbi Akiva holds that just not taking out is already a problem? The Tanya, we learned in the Braita, Satchal utizra kilayim, your field you should not sow kilayim. Ein le'ela zareya. I only know zareya, sowing, because it says, do not sow kilayim, mixtures in your field. It's only talking about sowing. Mikayim minayin. From where do I know maintaining is also liable? Talmud Lomar, that's why Torah states, Kelayim sadcha lutizra. As Kelayim in your field do not. Meaning, the juxtaposition of the words, Kelayim in your field, no. Kelayim in your field, no. Indicates that one is forbidden even to allow kalayim. So there's two ways to learn. Sadcha lo tizra kalayim, and then there's just a position 23. It says the Torah could have worded the verse more straightforwardly. Behemtecha kalayim lo tarbiya. By shifting the words kalayim into juxtaposition with sadcha, the Torah indicates that we are to read the three words kalayim sadcha lo. Because it says like this: do not crossbreed animals, and do not plant your field with mixed seeds. When we take the last three words of the previous pasuk, crossbreed no, together with the first word no of the next pasuk, then it comes out kalayim sadcha lo, which means that you should not ever find field planted with two types. Not, what does it mean, not find, not have? That you should be careful not to allow this to come about. And
even by accident.
Even by accident, but the idea is that you should take it away in a timely fashion. If you didn't take it away, that's already malkut. That's already malkut.
So you can't have a field with vegetables and fruits?
No.
You cannot?
Unless there are 4 amot separated. Mishnah in Kalayim says, it gives you specific measurements, how to delineate, how to distinguish one field from another.
There's a requirement like distance.
There has to be, if it's less, then you have to widen it,
Wow. Okay.
Let's just say a little bit. Actually, no. I see the Gemara later is another topic. We'll stop here. As far as this Mishnah, my main plan was to learn the Mishnah and to learn the concept only tonight. The concept that one action could bring 8 prohibitions. You know, they said that in Talmidei Chachomim we're able to count things like that. That if I do one action, how many surim do I transgress? Prohibitions do I transgress? Chafetz Chaim used to say, first thank you, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam. Chafetz Chaim, for example, says that a person says one lashon hara because Torah is so particular about lashon hara, he transgresses insane amount of isurim prohibitions.
Can husband and wife talk lashon hara about somebody else?
Only if it contributes to shalom bayit.
Of course not. Unless
because husband and wife they like share a lot of stuff.
I think husband and wife are only allowed to talk lashon hara about their children. Why? Because they're doing it for constructive purposes in order to discipline them.
Mm-hmm. But husband and wife they share like a lot of stuff, right? About what work, what happened, about this guy, that guy.
No.
Not allowed. So you shouldn't be sharing that stuff. No?
In fact, it says in one sefer that a husband who comes home and he tells his wife, "Oh, at work they didn't respect me here. Someone screamed at me. Someone was not respectful enough." He's only putting himself down in her eyes. Try to not to share with your wife things
I'm asking
that people
mostly on the
people
other
did to you.
On the other side, like the wife likes to share a lot of stuff.
That's different. If wife complains, it's to her husband. It's because that's the only destination for her to come down. Wife is made to complain to her husband. The husband is not made to share or complain or share lashon hara with his wife. But the wife, the only way she says it not because she means evil, but just because she needs to come down or to vent it out, to vent. That's all. But man is expected to be more manly and not to have to say it. But the wife is okay. If your wife tells you, you just listen to it. I hope I answered that very well. No, not sufficiently. Okay. Now, Rabotai, Yom Kippur is coming. It says in Shulchan Aruch, mitzvah le'echol be'erev Yom Kippurim. It's mitzvah to eat on Erev Yom Kippur v'laharbot b'suda, and to eat a big suda. Now, we know the Chachamim tell us that it says in the Torah 2 places. In one place that you have to fast on the 10th of Tishrei. In another place it says that you have to fast on the 9th of Tishrei, ba'erev. One second, we are fasting on the 10th. Why are we calling it 9th? Chachamim learn from here because Hashem wants to tell us anyone who eats on Erev Yom Kippur, Hashem considers it as if he fasted on Yom Kippur. In other words, Hashem gives them reward as someone who fasts on Yom Kippur. It's so important for Hashem that you should eat on Erev Yom Kippur that Hashem is giving you a big reward. What kind of reward is equal to fasting on Yom Kippur? Now,
but it's not. Is it a big reward to fast on Yom Kippur? It's not a big reward.
How do you know?
It's like you're obligated to do it. No.
There is a rule, general rule, that everything is according to pain. The more pain you have in doing a mitzvah, the bigger is the reward. So look what's happening over here. Everyone would agree with me that fasting the whole day is painful.
Most people, yeah.
And therefore, if we compare it to eating the whole day, in pain, it doesn't compare. In fact, eating is the most pleasant thing in the world. So what Hashem is doing, He changed the general rule. He said, everywhere else, I am going to give reward according to the pain. Over here, on eating on Yom Kippur, I'm going to give a reward that I would otherwise give for pain, I'm going to give for pleasure.
Same reward.
It's basically Hashem paying us with bitcoins for a piece of used tissue that we just used, that no one wants to buy it. No, it's not valuable. In Hashem's eyes, if we just have pleasure, and we just we don't put up any effort, Hashem doesn't usually pay with big bucks. Over here, He pays for pleasure with the currency that's paid for pain. What does that show us? One thing I always told you about Yom Kippur that's different than Rosh Hashanah, that it's expression of emotion, love. Rosh Hashanah is head, is cool calculations is when we make Hashem king. Yom Kippur, when we cry, we stay in the shul all day, we do vidui, we hit ourselves on the heart. It's connected live, it's emotions. So just like we go all out for Hashem, we don't go home, we stay in shul, we cry, we say, Hashem, my whole life is yours, my whole day is yours. And therefore, we don't make any calculations. We don't hold back. Hashem also, He goes above and beyond. He goes not according to the rules. He goes suspends the rules, normal rules, and He gives us a reward. The whole day out of Yom Kippur, He gives us a huge reward as if we're eating. The normal rules don't apply anymore. On Erev Yom Kippur, we don't say Tahanun. It's Yom Tov. Now, over here we come to a very, very important concept, which is also connected to Sudah Mafseket. Sudah Mafseket is the last Sudah before Yom Kippur. There's a question, is Yom Kippur a happy day or...
Halacha Mafseket is like a mourner's Sudah?
No, Mafseket means just the last Sudah before... Mafseket means the ending Sudah that starts the fast. The Sudah that before the fast. And usually this Sudah, Mafseket, is the whole family gets together, you eat it, you already try to, by then, go to mikvah, by then, daven mincha, by then, get malkot. Everything is done. We're going to get to all these things. But now everything is just set for Yom Kippur, and now just eating the Sudah, and then you're going straight into Yom Kippur. So this Sudah Mafseket, there's a question, is it Sudat Mitzvah or no? You know that there is a concept of Sudat Mitzvah. Sudah, that's mitzvah to eat it. So Rabbeinu Yonah says that this Sudah Mafseket is one of the biggest Sudot. Why? Because there's actually 3 reasons why we eat this Sudah. Reason number 1, we eat it, very simple reason, so that we could fast. Reason number 2, we eat it because it's Sudat Mitzvah, just like we make always a Sudah when there is a big occasion. For example, a person gets married, right? It's a mitzvah. There's always a Sudah, always a meal by a wedding. Bar mitzvah, always a meal. Brit milah, always a meal. Pidyon ben, always a meal. Why? My Rabbi explained, that's all, that mitzvah, that Sudah, meal, gives importance to the mitzvah, shows that we cherish the mitzvah. If we would just do mitzvah, you could do Brit Milah even without Suda. You could get married without Suda. You could do Pidyon Haben without Suda. Bar mitzvah, a person is bar mitzvah without Suda. But why do we make Suda? All Jewish people are unanimous on this. There gotta be Suda. I don't care. Best catering, look at Bukhari weddings, look at Bukhari bar mitzvah, look at Bukhari Brit Milah. Right? So what is this? There's no machlokes about it. Suda. Why? Because traditionally, it's ingrained in us that we highlight the mitzvah. We use the mitzvah to make the Suda, and we use the Suda to give mitzvah a special place in our life. It's not just a regular day. It's a celebration of the mitzvah. It's a celebration because of the mitzvah.
Right.
So Rabbi Yonah says that on Erev Yom Kippur, because on Yom Kippur at night Hashem is going to forgive our avirot, this is considered to be like a wedding. It's considered to be like bar mitzvah. It's considered like Pidyon Haben, like Brit Milah. It's a huge event in itself in our lives. It's a huge milestone in our lives. So all the Jewish people, they do a big mitzvah, simcha, as a simcha that Hashem forgives our avirot. So that's already the second reason why we have this Suda. First one is because we need to fast. Second one is because it's an event like wedding, like bar mitzvah. And the third one, Rabbi Yonah says that really Yom Kippur is a holiday. And it's called Shabbat Shabbaton. It's like Shabbat of all Shabbats. And it's really we're supposed to eat Suda on Yom Kippur, but Hashem said to fast, we cannot eat. So we eat 2 Su'udot before Yom Kippur. We eat one in the morning and one in the afternoon, Suda Mafseket, and one after Yom Kippur is over. So at the end, we end up eating 3 Su'udot, just like regular Shabbat. So it becomes Sudat Shabbat also. So if so, then this Suda before Yom Kippur has in it, it's unlike any other Suda of the year, it has in it all the advantages and all the special reasons to have Suda.
Like a 2-day Yom Tov.
It's today, it stretches over 2 days with a...
Actually, 3 days.
Erev Yom Kippur is like Yom Tov, almost.
Stretches over 3 days, actually.
Or the next day?
Why 3 days? Friday is Erev Shabbat.
No, but it stretches over 3 days.
Erev Shabbat.
Because it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Sukkot comes in Monday night?
Thursday night.
Sukkot comes in Monday night, right?
Well,
So that is Monday night.
That's when you have your Shudas Lishi.
So mixed Friday also. Look, we're gonna have Yom Kippur, 3 days Yom Tov, then Friday, then Shabbat, then Sunday, then Sukkot, Monday night,
Friday morning.
one after another. This year, because the only Yom Tov, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, they're in the middle of the week. So we're gonna have one after with 1 day or 2 days break. We're gonna go into Yom Tov again. So that's why we are above and beyond all the other nations as far as holidays. Baruch Hashem. we know how to party. That's not what I wanted to say. Okay. Now it says like this. We have to make sure that we settle our accounts with any person that we may owe money to, or I'm sorry to, apologize, or we may think that we slighted somebody. That's why it says, it's a special seif in the Shulchan Aruch that says that a person must ask for forgiveness from the person he might have offended. And if he didn't forgive you, you have to go back to him again and again 3 times. And if he didn't forgive you after you went 3 times, then you don't have to go anymore. Besides for your Rabbi. Rabbi, you have to go until he forgives you, even 1,000 times. Okay? Now, then it says that if someone asks you for forgiveness, even you don't feel like, you should forgive him. There's even like a new video from Yoel Gold, I don't know if you saw, that there was a couple getting married in Israel, and all of a sudden in the middle of their wedding, police storms into their wedding, tells all the guests to get out, gives Khatan's side and Kala's side 5,000 shekel fine, gets everyone to go home. The Khatan and Kala are shocked. They don't know what hit them. They went home. There was no Sheva Brachot. There was not much dancing, nothing. Okay, they were happy that they were at least married together. Then, like a year later, before Yom Kippur, someone calls them, the friend of the Khatan, and tells them he's very sorry because really he was the one who called the police. He was afraid that people are going to get sick at the wedding. This was in the middle of COVID. And he called the police. And since then, he didn't get even one shidduch. He thought that he's doing a mitzvah, that he called police. He didn't get one shidduch. He's only 24. He can't get married. He feels that it's because he ruined their wedding. So they didn't want to forgive him at first. They were so upset. Eventually, overnight, they thought about it. It took some time, the pain to go away. Then eventually, it was already end of Yom Kippur. They called them back. They said, okay. They talked to each other, husband and wife. And they said, okay, we'll forgive you. Okay. So you see that
He's selfish on all levels. Even the forgiveness was selfish.
Rabbi, does he have to pay them back on all the money they wasted on the wedding?
No, because it's grama. You only pay back if you actively damage someone.
What do you mean?
Actively? No, he called the police. The police decided what to do.
What do you mean? You know that when the police come, they're going to give you a fine.
Oh, they didn't have to raid the place and kick everyone out.
No, you know whenever because of COVID, they're always finding everyone.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't. There is a concept that you don't have to pay in Bedin. Bedin cannot obligate you because Bedin have very strict rules. Something which you did not damage with your action, you don't pay. But bidei shamayim, but in shamayim they definitely consider you liable, and you have to on your own. You have to give the money. If you decide not to, okay, you could wait until you get to the bedin.
No, but like let's say someone spends $100,000 on a wedding, like it's a Bukharian wedding, right? And then someone comes and ruins their wedding like that, you know, like
Go for a break for half an hour and call everybody back in half an hour.
yeah, but
I've seen Bukhari do that in Queens on
they got fined so many times and they still
one
did
time.
it.
Cops come, yeah, hi, bye, that's it. Okay.
Really?
Come back in 1
He
hour.
came back.
But this was in Israel. This was maybe different over there, you know.
Yeah, this is a little different.
America is.
Wow, that's scary.
Listen, it shouldn't ever happen again because this was a scary time, a crazy time. Now,
What an example from Hasidic people in Borpark. They do it in the basement with the windows, doors closed. Have a good day. You hear, that's it. Nobody comes in. No cops come in. Nobody comes in.
okay, Rabbi, let's just quickly review the Isurim, 5 prohibitions of Yom Kippur. What are the 5 prohibitions of Yom Kippur? One is eating and drinking. Number 2 is washing your hands. Number 3 is smearing your hands with oils or creams.
Washing your hands, you're allowed to wash, right? Up to the knuckles?
We're going to get back to the details. Yes, you're allowed to. Number 4 is we did already number 4. And number 5 is tashmish hamita, to live with your wife. Okay. Now, let's go back to each one of them. Eating and drinking. Eating and drinking is isur karet. All the others are midrabanan. So, therefore, it's very
What if
stringent.
someone takes certain like medication? They can drink less than someone else.
So it's a question that needs to be answered in very great detail. I would have to ask you what medication for which condition.
Let's say, for example,
What did the
thyroid.
doctor say? It's a process like this. You first have to have an actual condition. Then you have to ask a doctor specific question on Yom Kippur. If I don't take it, what's going to be? Depending on doctor also has to. He doesn't decide generically. He has to decide for your specific condition. Where are you right now in progression of the sickness? And then he has to give his medical decision. Then you have to go to a rabbi, tell him all of this, and then the rabbi tells you. So it's the questions like this are good, but the questions like this are not answerable because you need much more detail.
Each one's individual.
Every case is individual.
Are you allowed to use mouthwash on people?
No,
Can you wash with water?
no, because maybe you'll swallow. In fact, there is a general rule that on any public fast, you're not allowed to rinse your mouth with water. Maybe you'll swallow a little bit of water. Now it doesn't happen. I mean, I try to. I mean, every time I wash out, I never swallow it. But halacha is halacha. The rabbis prohibited. Huh?
Floss.
Floss is not a problem.
That's halacha that you can.
You cannot wash out your mouth on the public fast. On Yom Kippur for sure.
No, Yom Kippur for sure, but the other fast I thought was not a problem.
No, any public fast. Now, if it's an individual fast,
No, public fast.
public fast, you know, it's a halacha. I'll find it for you.
It's a Sephardi halacha.
It's
that
fine
you can
out.
do that?
Yes.
What if I have taken medication and the side effects very dry mouth? That's what I take.
Oh, it's still not allowed. I mean, it depends on if you're gonna, if it's pikuach. The only thing is if it's pikuach nefesh. But just because your mouth is dry, there's a lot of things. Many people, when they're fasting, their mouth is dry. We don't allow it.
You're not allowed to rinse your mouth like after second half or something. I thought there was
On Yom Kippur?
not on Yom Kippur, like on the other fast. Yeah, you sure?
Sure.
I thought I heard.
Maybe you're allowed to rinse out your mouth with Listerine that is non-edible. Not on Yom Kippur.
Not on Yom Kippur, yeah.
On other fasts, there is a shita. Maybe I when I was learning this, I felt my Rabbi didn't allow even Listerine because he holds that it's still edible. They put enough sugar in their syrup, but I think there's at least one mistake. Water for sure.